In recent weeks, there was one of the greatest demonstrations in the history of the world. And if it's surprising you, that's my point. Something isn't working. 1 million people, you heard me right, 1 million people marched in Kolkata, used to be called Calcutta, marched against the Modi government there, marched against the neoliberalism that has been the dominant policy for India, a policy worsening the already extreme poverty and inequality that society suffers. The movement was led also by the following organization: the Communist Party of India - Marxist. Maybe that's why you couldn't get much coverage. Maybe it was too difficult to understand that a communist party mobilized 1 million people in a major city. But whatever the reasons, it means that people around the world, particularly people in the United States, are simply unaware of the kinds of conflict and what the issues are building in other societies. It's hard not to come up then with the conclusion that it will have to be some scandalous event, some explosive moment that'll finally get the media's attention, and then the media, the reporters and the editors, they won't know very well how to evaluate any of this. And as if this weren't the only example, there are so many others. Venezuela. Yes, they have all kinds of crises now. But we haven't been told for a long time what is the meaning of an economic system like Venezuela's dependent on oil. A society, a monoculture, we used to call it in economics, whose fortunes rise and fall with the price and trading conditions of one item rather than having a diversified, balanced economy. What is the result of a revolutionary socialist government, Hugo Chavez, trying to change a society that has for 200 years been polarized between a tiny group of wealthy folks at the top and a small middle class and a vast poverty-stricken population, both rural and urban? What happens when you try to change directions? What kinds of opposition? And then how does all of that interact with the American foreign policy since 1830's Declaration of Manifest Destiny, being the United States is in control of the Western Hemisphere? How does that all play? None of it. We're given just bits, maybe of violence in the street. I could go on, not understanding what led to the Yellow Vest movement in France, what led to the extreme right-wing government in Hungary, what are the conflicts, all of that's left out. So I want to complain to all of you that we have a press that does not deal with so much, that when it finally deals with something, it deals with it with a level of ignorance about what's going on that's painful.